There we go. How is everybody doing? Hopefully better than I'm currently feeling. Not the best when your girlfriend comes home from her internship and she got infected from someone at the internship, and then it got passed over to me. It could have been a lot better today, but we'll manage. All things considered, I'm still doing pretty well. How are you doing, Mirror Samurai? Hope you're feeling a bit better than I am. Been working on some Daybreak stuff, as people may have been able to tell. Thanks, but it's actually not a scarf. This is part of the t-shirt. It's just really nice and cozy. How's it going, your resident liability? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Quick change here, quick change there. Yeah, it's not going to be a long stream today. Don't really feel that great, but it's also not that bad. Like, I can still walk around. I'm going to go for a walk later down the day. Just gonna take it easy, not do too much, and not like try to be too intensive. Weirdly enough, because everyone else also is sick, like I planned on cooking, and then I was like, maybe that's not the best idea. Cat hair. Maybe that's not the best idea because I'm sick, but everyone else here is also pretty much sick, so it doesn't really matter who cooks right now. Let's see. First off, is it the Dom Brigade? It is the Dom Brigade. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done much yet with the transfer skill. So currently I've just been going through Soth, dropping Micaiah over here, and then Sanaki gives a nice shove to her sister, so that she doesn't get picked up next turn either. Alright, trying to draw some more art for yourself. Nice. One of the classes I definitely did not finish and did not really excel in was like artistry in high school. I actually, when in the Netherlands, there's depending on what kind of level of education you're doing for high school, you have 4 or 5 or 6 years. I was doing 6 years with Latin and Greek. However, from the 3rd year onwards, like starting the 4th year, you're slimming down the amount of subjects you're taking, and you pick a profile, so you can go really more into biology focused, or more in economics, or more in culture, or more in science. So if you take a culture profile, you won't have your biology and your science courses. You will have had basics, but you won't like further advance those lessons. And I actually wasn't allowed to go from the 3rd to the 4th year, because I had three courses that I actually flunked. Like, I had a really bad grade in them, but those were also the 3 courses that I was planning on dropping, which were French, economics, and artistry, like just drawing and stuff like that. I was really good with handicraft, building stuff and woodworking and stuff like that, but just drawing stuff wasn't my calling. And how are you doing, Garrett? Hope you're doing well. You just missed me talking about how I'm a bit sick, and it's going to be a shorter stream. I have been working currently on weapons and coding them in, scripting them in. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But I did want to show the Shine Tome, because you probably have seen the video. You will, of course, have seen the Earth Magic already, but I also have done some work on the Shine Tome and like all the Light Tomes, and I want to make all of them feel a bit more interesting. So here we have also still the tutelage, like the bond giving experience skill working. However, if we do a shine tome, then we actually place a shine barrier now. And I managed to make it work. It drops, it doesn't apply when there's a shine barrier placed. No matter the manner of the man, the goddess judges with an even hand. And poof, we get our shine barrier. So this is going to be very cool for strategic placement. I'll also place a regular shine barrier just so people can see that the counter is the same. "16-year-old me thought that game development was his true calling." I mean, I started with chefing and I'm doing game development in my spare time and doing software engineering as a bachelor's degree, so you may just find yourself doing something completely unrelated. Let's see. First off, we will kill someone with the shine tome. This Myrmidon is going to die. And the funny thing is, or the good thing is, when this unit dies, it won't place a shine barrier. And this is not with like switching weapons around in the back end. This is just using a couple of flags that I actually took from the escape room with the victory condition, where it cycles through every couple of turns. We get a coin. And as you can see, there's no shine barrier placed. This guy won't die because he has 60 HP. I ended up shifting gears and deciding art was for me. Well, I hope you're happy with that. Like, arts, there are a lot of things that I am blown away by whenever people say, like, I made this, I drew this. And I know with enough time and effort, of course, I can get there as well. But it's not something that I get a lot of fulfillment out of myself. The weird thing is, with the coding I'm doing right now in the game development, my dad is a game developer. And, like, not a game developer for computer games, he's a game developer for, like, board games. And not like the Hasbro games, the really... the kiddie games, more like variants of chess and checkers, and he's made like a lot of them and they're pretty well known within that circuit. My mom did IT and all kinds of coding stuff, and eventually I was like, during my youth I was not interested in either, and look at me now, I'm doing game design with IT in the background, coding it myself. So kind of weird. Like, at one point I had this realization where what I was doing as a hobby was pretty much like the combination of what my two parents were doing. So yeah, still possible to happen. Funny how that works. I am going to leave this unit. We are currently on the second turn. We killed the units, then the second turn we killed another unit. This is turn 3. Then we've got turn 4. And we've got turn 5, and if it's done correctly, yeah, Shine Barrier 1 and Shine Barrier 2. This one does appear slightly earlier. I don't know why, but they do like disappear on the same turn. And now, if we take a look, we can kill this unit. And you guessed it, we'll get the Shine Barrier again. So it's actually going to work on a cooldown-based system. You cannot place a new Shine Barrier whenever the Shine Barrier placed by this Shine Tome was already placed. They last for 5 turns. So yeah, it's the fact that we're able to use action economy to make actual obstructions is pretty cool, and they just fade out by themselves. Oh, I'm glad you're happier as a self-taught artist. That's great. And I mean, I had to learn this all by hand. Like, I started with hex editing, didn't know what hex was. Then I had to get into Ghidra and ASM code. I still can't read most of it, but I can deduce a lot of things, which allows me to just shift around some values, which still has big impacts with the Laguz masteries and the class masteries from tier 3 units, being able to modify the damage calculations and stuff like that. that's still a big impact, even though it's like just a small value. But if you know where that one value is that's important, then you can do a lot of stuff with that. Yeah, having ones at a time is a good call. Of course, you can't place them when there's an enemy on that spot. At least I think so. It should be. I mean, I tested that, right? I'll quickly try it anyways. We have a unit that doesn't die with that 60 HP brigand. Do have to shove Micaiah because otherwise Soth picks her up again. It's actually cool how a lot of LTCs and maybe speedruns, but I'm not sure about that one. But at least a lot of LTCs actually have uses for the shine barriers. Okay, so we have the shine barrier. So this, in theory and in practice, I'm pretty sure I tested this, but just to be sure, this shouldn't apply shine barrier. I'm also thinking about using the Thani animation for this because it, like, the pillar of light is pretty much like a shine barrier shape-wise. So yeah, nothing happens, so that's good. And the cooldown system doesn't work on a turn-by-turn basis. Like, I can also use this shine tome now, which is a turn later than I did previously. Yeah, it would detract a little bit from the Thani being its own special tome. And I can also make, I can make separate shine tomes. They will all be called shine. I'm not planning on giving the player access to many, but like one in part 1 and one in part 3, for example. And shine barrier, yes. And just to prove we can't walk here. But the only thing I need to do with this one is called, because we have, of course, the original Shine Tome, which is now Arc Light, because why did we have Fire, L Fire, Arc Fire, Wind, L Wind, Arc Wind, and then Light, L Light, Shine? That made no sense. So the current Shine Tome internally, it has been renamed to Arc Light, and this is technically internally called Shine 2. But I can also make Shine 3, which will then only function with its corresponding shine barrier. Like, this shine barrier is linked to this shine tome, so you could even have it that you have multiple... Oh, Sanki got picked up by Soth. You could have it so that the shine barriers are... that you have multiple shine barriers on the map, but I don't want to make too many, so this has to be like a very sparingly used tome for the player. Because in part 4 you could otherwise load it with like 4 or 5 shine tomes, and that's just weird. And they both disappear. And once again, we proc Corona, which is great. And we receive a coin. And we get the shine barrier again. Yeah, it's weird how, like, dark magic is often kind of its own thing. Also, hey Lord Mewtwo, how are you doing? Didn't see you there. And Crimson Iron, how are you doing? You just popped up as I took a look at Twitch chat. Hope you're all doing well. What was I saying? I don't really mind it that much with dark magic, because dark magic usually works on a very funky system anyways, where most of the tomes have different effects, which is like the way I like it. Also, Garrett, I'll get to your magic spells and stuff like that in just a moment. But I do like it. I like the fact that dark magic is funky, and I'm making all magic funky as you know it. Or as you know. So, currently, I need to grab a window. Window capture internet. Oh, that one's already in use. Where is my add existing? Add internet. So where is it in that case? Hello? Cannot find my internet. There we go. What is happening? Why are you... Interesting. There we go. To just modify this a little bit. Streamer knows exactly what he's doing. This isn't scuffed at all. There we go. This is what I had currently for light tomes. I'll keep it on the screen for just a moment. Don't forget that light tome. Can we read that? So light magic has weapon triangle advantage versus swords, lances, and axes, which also makes it kind of the dodge tanking weapon. And I'll let you read through all the effects. I'll take a quick look at what Garrett said. Yeah, you will sold them, but my parent. So Fire, Thunder, Fimbulvet, or Ragnarok. Oh, it's nice that you can easily combine spells with Lextalionis. That's really nice. Final Fantasy has Thunder, Thundera, and Thundaga, for instance. Is that... I haven't played Final Fantasy, which, like, shame on me, I know. But does that kind of equate to the same levels as, like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions has with... what are they all called? Like, they also have all kinds of weird... Wait, where'd my internet go? There we go. Those also had some funky animations and naming schemes. Oh, it really annoys you, yeah. I mean, they are not the most creative names. Thunder, Thundaga, and Thunderaz. Yes, regular light is a brave weapon. I'll go into detail about these now. Pretty much because currently the idea is to have basic naming schemes for most magic systems, except for like dark, because we are going to include earth magic as technically dark magic, but we're renaming it to elder, and then like the dark tomes are going to be specifically for dark magic wielders. So instead of dark magic weapon rank, we'll have elder magic weapon rank, and we'll have elder magic weapon rank. So even Ilyana technically has a dark rank, but it means that she can get to a maximum, and she can only use the stone, L-stone, Arcstone, and Atlas tomes, and then all the actual dark tomes are not those are not available to her and can only be wielded by the dark magic users like Laran, Peleus, and Micaiah. Taking this one, and I'll have to... Where did it go? Internet, please. There we go. So yeah, I'll quickly go through the ideas that I have currently. Light, and keep in mind, like, earth magic, those are going to be your basic weaponry. Those are going to be every mage's iron, steel, silver, and great lance, or like, I don't know what the equivalent for that one would be, but like the Atlas tome is like the biggest form of the basic weaponry, which just scale in the late game. They have no effects. Light magic has only one might, but it does have a brave effect. It can't crit, and it also gives extra weapon XP. Keep in mind that brave weapon hits don't give extra weapon XP as far as I know, or maybe I'm confusing that with Path of Radiance. But the idea is that you have a player phase weapon that does a little bit of damage. It's really weak, But if you have a unit that you can finish off, because mostly light users are frail. Like Laura, Riz, Micaiah, pretty much all frail units. So if you don't want to get hit and you can just squeak in the kill, if you were able to hit twice, then you can use the light tome, which still gives it a niche even later in the game. If you have a lot of magic and you're attacking an axe general who has like 3 magic even at like level 18, for example, I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass, but then you could still use this to sneak in a kill with a desperation effect. Elite, just a reliable tome, hit plus 15 on enemy phase. This also means that it actually has 110 hits for every tome that you look at when the enemies have it, because it'll be their enemy phase on your player phase. And then Arclight is pretty much like, I know it only says Might 3, but it gives 6 magic. So it's basically just a light tome with 9 magic, but by giving the magic as a bonus instead of weapon might, it actually allows you to extend your staff range by 3. Because all the staves like Physic that apply through magic divided by 2 range, those will be a bit better if you can equip this weapon, which gives it a utility use instead of a combat use as well, because the damage is just going to be working as if it's a 9 might weapon. Purge is just going to be siege magic. Resire, same thing, like it's just regular Resire. Vel Aura is going to do dark magic damage because it's corrupted light magic, but it's going, and thus it's going to be the only light magic that doesn't that probably behaves in, I don't know if it's going to do the extra damage like dark magic does, but it does distort the weapon triangle a bit. Rex Aura is your ultimate skill, and maybe Dagreos will, like, it's going to be S rank, but this one is going to amplify luck and res, and those values all can shift around, but it's an enemy phase weapon because you can heal at the end of player phase. Thani, everyone knows Thani. Crazy Lad, not too sure about this one yet. Keep in mind, currently it's just theory crafting, and a lot of all these will be able to just change dramatically as the game progresses. Maybe some of them don't feel nice to play with, maybe some do. Shine, I am going to keep that one because that's just a really cool effect in my opinion. Divine is going to apply the curse, or the shriek skill from Birdlagoose, setting enemy luck to 0 after combat. Seraphim is dark magic, effective versus dark magic and corrupted enemies such as the feral ones. Then we, of course, since we had a Brave Tome at the beginning, having a really good Brave Tome later on in the game also feels nice. And Abraxas is a killer tome, but it has a downside where you also are more easily crit yourself. So that's what I've got so far, and that's how I'm trying to make all of these a lot more unique and interesting, where you still have the availability of just regular damage, which will probably be like a bit higher. If you just need front-loaded damage, then you'll be able to use your stone, L-stone, etc. Makai getting Great Lads are cool. Yeah, I mean, it's weird that she only has Thani. Yeah, I'm really excited about these weapons. So, the anime in your fan game concept. Thunderfire Wind System. Yeah, the 3 tomes in Awakening are similar. Yeah, it's really important though, if you do 3 range magic, which I am planning on doing, it's really important when you're working with like 3 range that you also balance your maps and even build your maps accordingly. Because a lot of maps in, especially the smaller ones with a lot of choke points in GBA, for example, they are not made for 1-3 range weaponry. So that's really important. You'll need wider choke points. For example, let's say that entire corridor in FE6 where you run around and you have to go through, and like the Manakite boss is at the end with where you recruit Ray. I don't remember what the chapter is, but you have to go this way, that way, that way, that way. And there's archers and mages all through the corridors. If those had 1-3 range thunder, that would absolutely be a horrible experience. Be more limiting with 1-3 range. Like thunder being vanilla, I'm going for thunder as the crit option and long range, but it's going to be low might. How would you make fire magic different? I'd say, like personal opinion, fire magic is going to be the axe equivalent for magic users, but you can also make fire magic do splash damage with AoE, which a few tomes will have in Daybreak, but there's a lot of different things. You can also make them effective against armored units because you're heating metal, for example. Oh, a burn debuff. I should have read a bit further. Chip damage at the start of next enemy phase. That's also a really cool idea. Yeah, that works as well. Just because it hurts. It can double attack because it's more chip oriented. Yeah, corrupted is just it's because technically we have Renning, so it would be effective on Renning before he or Bertram in Path of Radiance. Spies, Yumi, automatons, and Conquest 25. You gotta remember is that's probably like a reply to my talk about like FE6 with the 3 range weaponry, if I'm assuming that correctly. But I haven't played Conquest that far, so one of the only 3 range weapons in Fates in exchange for no 1-2 range. Yeah. Thunder magic being strong against armor, you can also make a case for that. Yeah, it's very conductive. I mean, to be fair, like I know that in the shorts that I make, and currently they're shitting on engaged characters a bit because, well, the designs, even though they make sense in scenarios that are not a battlefield, they don't make sense in a battlefield setting. But a lot of fantasy armor, you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, because if I'm looking at it was The Witcher, I believe. There's like that one scene where in the show, God, what's her name? Dark-haired, was the like hunchbacked woman. I can't remember the name, but she torches an entire field of humans, and if you have metal, that's absolutely horrible. If you're fighting on a boat, FE Awakening with Robin, who like throws an entire set of ships into the enemy and then they jump overboard to swim away. Like, Callum is fucking dead. Like, Callum has a lot of armor. If he is able to swim with that armor, that man, you don't need anyone else. He can kill God just with his bare hands. If he can swim with that piece of armor, he is more than a god. So there are so many scenarios where in the fantasy medieval setting of Fire Emblem, it doesn't really make sense to have armor, because yeah, okay, I'm not being hit by an axe, but then a fireball torches me and like, great, I'm being cooked alive in my armor. You have to suspend your disbelief a little bit. Regarding 1-3 range, the idea is let daggers and tomes have them as hand axe and javelin equivalents. It's like the extra range and everything, but they can't double to compensate. That is a very good trade-off. I am going to, like, I can't make it so that hand axes can't really double. There's no dynamic speed system. I can't change follow-up speed with doubling speed, sadly. So if I were to give like the hand axe 100 weight, you just always get doubled. I can't really make it a sweet spot where you don't get doubled, but you also don't double yourself. So I'm just going to make them rather weak. Javelins and hand axes, you'll have to forge them to really get good value out of them, because I don't want 1-2 range to be the best that there is. I want there to be really... I want you to think about what you want to use and really think about like I don't want you to be able to park a unit just in a field and have everyone die to a hand axe a la Vanilla Radiant Dawn or Marcus FE7, etc. Yeah, universe with metal armor probably would be engineered a lot differently. Anyway, like I can't really show many of these. Light, of course. Currently, the text is all very scrunkled up. I'm going to work on that. I just threw in everything that I was able to that I needed, like just description wise. So this still says luck plus 10 because I had another idea. Purge is fine. This is fine. This is fine. But I can show Rex Aura. Like it's technically nothing special. Perhaps Awakening's armor being toilet shaped gives it some buoyancy. Who knows? Okay, and we should... Yeah, we trigger it again. Yeah, Dirty Fighting always brings us to 1 HP if it's below 10. And we're going to kill this poor soldier. And then we'll see, at the start of enemy phase, we'll see Rex Aura. But once again, this might change. Like, maybe it doesn't really feel good. I was thinking about maybe Rex Aura healing adjacent allies for a certain amount as well. Because healing, like, light magic is usually considered benevolent magic. So that could have made sense, but then I currently didn't really feel like it because I'm not feeling that well. So I was like, well, doing something difficult, don't want to do it right now. But if I end my turn, Micaiah gets the Matrona effect and she heals back 40 HP. Currently, however, the Rex Aura gets used up because I'll have to go to a different... I'll go to my teaching display for this one. Give me just a moment. So I have a lot of code, and like a lot of this was originally made by Duno, and I repurposed a lot as well. But you can see here, and there's an equivalent for the vice versa effect. After every turn, it looks for the Rex Aura enemy phase tome, and then it deletes it, and it gives you the Rex Aura player phase tome. And the same exists as well for like deleting the Rex Aura normal tome and giving you an enemy phase tome, which is what happened, except I haven't included an enemy phase tome for this one, so it just doesn't give you anything. Which it doesn't need. I don't need the enemy phase tome because this Rex Aura isn't going to have an enemy phase effect. It's going to have a in-between phase utility effect currently. However, I just did a lot of copy pasting, adding all the weapons in case I needed them. So this is one that I can currently remove. And I'll be going through all of that for the light tomes today. Just taking a look like which ones do need enemy phase stuff, like the allied tome, and then all the others I can safely remove. Yeah, it does give a good reason for why mages have more resistance compared to physical classes. It's funny how we still got to the Awakening Knights 2 or 3 consecutive streams in a row, and I just love shitting on them so much. Like, if I'm going to be known for like a few things, I don't mind being the FE content creator that just likes to shit on the Awakening armor designs. Still, they're fine with as soon as you remove the top part. Like they won't be sufficient in actually what's it called? They won't be sufficient in actually removing and being protective enough. They're still decent. I mean, this this is Kjell. And Kjell is pretty well armored, and it looks pretty normal. Guess why? The entire like jetpack is on the floor. It's that simple. Why do they need that? They're not well protected in the back, but then you also like counterpoint units like Shursh exist, and they have a bare back. So once we get to Awakening characters, I will be critical of that, because there's also like, doesn't Shursh also have the slitted shoulder pauldrons where there's like, as if it's a portcullis where you can shoot arrows between? Like, that's the entire thing that like shoulder guards are supposed to protect you from stuff, and then you're like, ah yes, that's where the arrows and the swords can, and the lances can stab right through. Such a good idea. Such great designs. Still, I love Shursh. Don't like the design particularly, but can't hate on it too much. It's like Dragon Rider motif, and I mean, I like the character, so just reclass, pretend it's in terms of protection, it's a big yikes. Yeah, maybe the top part is the spike crawler that you give to Sheepdog. It could be a lot worse, to be fair. I mean, we also have the toilet cavaliers, and it's weird, like, for how well covered the Fates designs are. Like, the bare butt cheeks are also certainly a design decision. Yeah, Myrmidons do technically also have like more resistance, but I don't mind being the person that shits on the Awakening designs a little bit. I mean, I'll get to them with the shorts eventually. Currently, I'm going through all the Awakening characters that are in Heroes, and after that, we'll see. Maybe a new game comes out in the meantime. I really do like the fact that someone said it a while ago. The leaker for the person that leaks Engage, of course, also leaked like the FE4 stuff. But like, maybe they just saw Sigurd and like saw some maps that featured Sigurd, and they thought that was going to be, that was the evidence for the FE4 stuff, and it was just the fact that they looked at what Sigurd was doing in Engage, and they just saw like a different area that they didn't see in the Engage parts of the leak, so they thought like, oh, this might be a different game, different aesthetic. So maybe we're all just clowning ourselves, and we were huffing copium because there was never actual evidence of an FE4 leak. It was all just Engage, where it was just the Sigurd parts that works, that the person that leaked it were that they actually saw it. No, female calves without trousers, and like we did this last stream, I believe. We shat on chafing for the Pegasus Knights with their skirts, and we shat on the Great Knights. There's so many questionable decisions. I am going to take a look. The Radiant Dawn mages, because cycling back to like design philosophy for Radiant Dawn, since I'm making the fire mages one range mostly, like maybe there will be a few exceptions to like the fire tomes, but generally one range with just high might, low hit, AoE, that kind of stuff. But maybe, just maybe, I can make it so that the designs for the fire mages will have like pieces of metal plating around their shoulders, not necessarily added to the model, but mostly just their current outfits, their hoods. Maybe I can make like the red hood instead of, because they're already similar, maybe I can make the red hood more metallic so that it feels more like a helmet. There might be some possibilities there to make the make them stand out a little bit more as well, so that you can more easily differentiate the mages depending on like which faction, because especially the Banyan ones, like Thunder, Wind and Fire mages all have like red cloaks, and then there's like on the back behind the hoodie there's like 2 little flaps which are either red, green, or yellow, and it's just so hard to see. So I'm hoping to make them a little bit more visible. There's also a few things that I want to do for like Volug, Nielucci, Vika, Nesala. Maybe there's like a little bit of an accessory I can give them to differentiate them from being so invisible. Like sometimes I just don't move Nielucci because I think he has been moved already. Different fashion styles. I would love that. Like I know it's like a wish that's never coming true, but I would love the idea of having not just different outfits depending on like what mage you are, for the example that we're currently working with, but also taking Engage, for example, because like or Radiant Dawn, like let's say Radiant Dawn. Like if Benyon armor would just be slightly different for all the units, because they do that with the soldiers. That's like in the soldier video. I fucking love it. It's in the recollection, like all the physical classes pretty much, they look very similar, but their designs are slightly different, and I fucking love it. Let's see if I can find it. And I wish they would do that for the mages as well, maybe even like a little bit more radical. Where, oh where, oh where? Vicious Sal, yes, that is my channel. I do not wish to view the video where I am live, I wish to view my soldier video.
If we look at the gold...
Perfect timing. Okay, so we have Rourke here. And I am going to pick up my internet page and it's going to be perfect. No, that one. This one. You can see my recommended. Hope you enjoy. So we can see here, like, these are from the Tellius recollection books. And this is Dayan armor, and now I'm going to have to try and figure this out if I can make this work. This is Dayan armor, and let's see, where is it? Here we go. This is the Benyon armor, and you can see that there's slight differences. Like the Dayan armor has those gold accents. Let me see if I can zoom this in just a little bit. Like you see those accents along the gold trimmings, and then it has little golden spikes in all those trimmings. They don't have that with the Benyon armor. It's very faint. The shield also has a different emblem. It's so cool. I love it. And then I wish we also got that for the mages, that they all have slightly different designs. Sadly, we don't. We don't really get that difference with the mages. They all look the same in combat. But if I can make a few tiny changes, I would love that to work. But like I'm hoping I can do that, but I think working in Photopea and Paint and like messing around with those files is going to be very tricky to get it right, because it probably also really feels jarring really easily if you don't do it well. It'll feel out of place, it'll feel choppy, so I'm hoping. Yeah, definitely, like the fire mages are going to have higher defense. The light magic, thunder magic, like those, or the thunder mages and the light mages are going to have low defense. Dark mages, high power. Slow, medium defense. Fire, high might, low skill, pretty high defense, like pretty much armor level. Fighter armor level at least. And the wind is going to be very fast and just middling all around. You mentioned this before, but a friend of yours did a different idea with different fashion styles for the Fangin concept. Like, yeah, Wind Mages being similar to Myrmidons, and like, I don't know, you could also have like the Wind frontline mages having more armor. There's so many cool things you can do with that. Yeah, the other furries get to be multicolored. Why not the birds as well? I mean, I am going to use them. I don't know if this is going to crash the game, because I'm going to quickly make a save state, because I'm currently reaching the max of my memory capacity. But there are a few models that I'm going to use, and there are going to be differing, what do they call, differing Lagoos? Here we go, enemy Lagoos units probably. It is going to work. So yada yada yada, yada yada yada, this is all fine. Here we go. We have red cat model Lagoos. And of course we have Kesda, who's a black Lagoos. So there's, you have the orange ones for Leith and Lyre, you have red, you have black, you have blue, and you have the generic yellow. So there's like 5 or 6, depending on like which, if you differentiate Leith and Lyre. I can probably make more of these. I can make more, I can add different colors, and depending on what they do, like I know that Exalted does this as well, because I showed this to Duno as well, and for him the red cats are going to be like specifically living near the Kauku caves, and they are like fire magic cats. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, but like Exalted is really heavily into the gameplay aspect, especially with like the 8 versions, so it really feels cool for that. But that might be a little bit too straying too far from the actual canon in universe for Daybreak, because that feels like something that like would have been noteworthy to mention in Path of Radiance. So there are definitely, there are definitely things you can do with that. There's also like a few other model colors in here. Some really, really blue ones as well. Yeah, we even have like blue cat Lagoos, so water magic might be a thing. No, let's not go too far, but like there are multiple models, and these are maybe a little bit overly saturated, but I can still use them, tone them down a little bit by just shifting the hue slightly more to a muted color. Definitely some options there. Oh crap, that's like the worst possible position. Zihar, come over here. I don't think Micaiah can... Oh, she can actually take? Cool. Take, drop, there we go. And you do remember that we don't have many visual effects to use for magic and such, just a splash. Yeah, especially Thunder Magic was quite poor. Oh, speaking of Thunder Magic, I was so close. I am so close to recoloring them and having them work. Fuck, where did I have it? Just give me a second. Raw grades? Sure. So I recolored the Thunder Magic, or El Thunder in this case. And I made it blue, because this seems like a pretty natural color for a lightning strike. I don't know. Blue lightning, it's an Avatar reference. Like here you can see it as well. And they almost work. Almost. I'm going to quickly throw this into Daybreak. Files, YME. Okay, so I've applied a new file. Yeah, blue lightning, it would look sick. Sadly, the only thing I changed is the U. I can do this. This would be fine. Yeah, this is no problem. Crap, wrong map. I need 1-7, not 1-8. So blue lightning would make sense, and the only thing it doesn't do with the U is that it loses its properties for where it's supposed to go. Let's see, Ilyana, you can we still have the El Thunder Tome, don't we? This way I don't have to... This way I don't have to wait for... what's it called? Don't have to wait for the enemy boss. I can just target someone with Laura. Or not Laura, Ilyana. So we all know how El Thunder looks normally. I'm going to quickly put this on all on. Yeah, because this is normal. Like, I didn't change the in-combat one right now. But like the shape of this one, just remember the shape. That's how it's supposed to look. The same for on map, but just a little bit different. However, if we go for on map, this is the new blue lightning, and you can see that the colors work, the shapes work, except it doesn't really know how to use the starting and ending position. Like, this is, you can see the blue lightning. That part is working. Like, the colors are there. It's just that the shape gets contorted. And if I know how to fix that, I can recolor pretty much everything. I can create blue fire, I can create green fire, I can create like all kinds of I can create what's it called? For example, I could recolor the Nosferatu tome to also have like a dark purple version for the actual dark magic version. There's so many things I could do, and that would allow me to create so many more animations, just because I could recolor them and reuse them that way. Like, this is misshapen and contorted, but the color works. Like, that's not the problem. The color works. So yeah, it's gonna be fun figuring that out. I'm looking forward to having more stuff to work with, but right now it's not entirely perfect. I could quickly do the combat version as well. Let's see how that one works, because I haven't tried it yet. Oh, right. It's going to take just a little moment. These are the normal colors, and you can see this is pretty much the exact same one. Like, these are the same as the one I just showed. And now I'm curious, what are the... How big are these? What if I just replace you? It doesn't really matter anyway. Fuck, where did I have them? Did I remove those? Oh yeah, I did remove them, but I haven't emptied my trash can yet, so... Okay, so texture 1 blue or 0 blue, this is going to be the first one. And then we're going to replace the second one. It is very easy to do. However, something is still going wrong with Brawl Crate, sadly. And we'll save. And with the model extractor, then we repackage this. Fantastic. Extracted, this is effect ID underscore L K L Thunder. Files. Give me just a moment, we're almost there. On Daybreak. How am I importing and exporting these? I'll tell you in just a moment. Let's see, we need that one. No, I also don't know of any blue fire magic off the top of my head in other Fire Emblem games, but there might be some possibilities. Ilyana list, and we take the El Thunder Tome. Deployment. I almost started with without Ilyana. So currently I've changed not just her. If done correctly, we still have the broken as fuck map animations, yeah. And then if we try combat animations this time, which were working well last time, this time we should have something that goes a little bit wrong. I'm curious. No, that is not what we... That's not what I expected at all. It might just be because I used the map animation image file and maybe the size is not correct. Oh wait, I probably forgot one thing. It might still be that the size is not correct. But these have to be on repeat. Yeah, it does look oddly sci-fi. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. Effect ID underscore K L Thunder. It might be working this time, it might not, and otherwise it probably would have just messed it up just like the on-map version. But I just forgot that there's a few settings in Brawl Crates that do have an impact. No, I don't want to go to prologue. I am going too fast for my own mind. We want to go to a Gathering Hope. I guess I can just grab the... Ilyana from here and give her the item from here. I think we'll get the same results, but maybe that was one of the issues I fixed. yeah, same issue. So this is probably just because I used the wrong image values, because instead of exporting them and replacing them with the image shifted in color, I use the on map ones, which are probably like a smaller size, and that probably fucks stuff up a little bit. To quickly fix this, however, where is my L Thunder? Okay, we remove you. This is one thing I do need to keep in mind. Every time I try this, I have to delete these files again and then just give me back my base L Thunder tome. And to answer Lord Mewtwo's question, I have a tool called the Weapon Model Extractor. I think Heartless Seth made this as well. It's called Tellius-CMP-PAK, and it also uses the LZZSS application. I think that's just a patcher application. And what I can do is I can take CMP files, drag them on top of the Tellius CMP-PAK file application, and it will extract them into a TPL, GS, GA, and G file. And then I can open that TPL file, which is this one. And with that, you have all kinds of images, and you can export these, and then you can do all kinds of stuff with them, and then you can replace them with new images. This is really easy to find. Like, that part with Brawl Crate is really easy to find because New Super Mario Bros. And Smash Bros. And Mario Kart Wii all use it. And I believe if you look on, maybe it's even in my Discord in the resource section, but if you look on Fire Emblem Universe, you probably are able to find it if you search post by Heartless Seth. And otherwise, just send me a reminder, Lord Mewtwo. I'll send you a link in that case. And there's just a few things that currently aren't working with it. But I did use Brawl Crate a lot as well for something else, which is the music and the unit select quotes. Those are all done by Brawl Crate, adding new audio to the game. Luckily, I have a tutorial made on that already, so I don't even remember. I don't even remember how I have to do it right now. Luckily, I still have that tutorial for myself. That's actually the main reason I made it. Yeah, it's what I use. However, the weapon model extractor, because it's usually for weapon models, but you can also use it for pretty much any other CMP file in Radiant Dawn. It allows you to not just use the existing TPL files that are in the game, it then also allows you to like break those down and repackage them. And it works in pretty much all cases, except currently for like animations. I've tried recoloring some swords and that seems to work just fine. But recoloring animations, even if I go into Photopea or Photoshop and I just shift the hue to a different color so that the transparent background and stuff like that doesn't change, it distorts the entire image. Which is a shame, but like I'll get to that eventually. It's I'm going to use base animations for now, and that's like a late problem for later. I think we've been going for about an hour. I think that is, for me, a good enough time to keep it like nice and short for today. I'm you might not see it, and I'm still enthusiastically talking about stuff, but I am sweating, I'm hot, and I'm probably just going to lay down a little bit before I have to start cooking dinner. So I'll keep it short today, but I did want to stream, answer some questions, and just tell about the stuff I'm currently working on. because, well, I'm pretty happy with the light tomes I've made so far, and I think that was worth sharing. So for now, hopefully I'll be a little bit better. Otherwise, it's going to be a short stream on Thursday as well. But we'll see what happens, and hopefully I will feel a bit better and we can make it a little bit longer next time. That's been me, and for now I'll say see you Thursday, and maybe I'll have a video out tomorrow as well.